Hi everyone, this is Lisa Kester with Wild Acorns Art Studio, and I am going to paint a vase today with some underglazes. Of course, I've got my helper here. Hi Millie, say hi. So I'm using Amaco Velvet Underglazes, and I paint my underglazes on Bisqueware because I really prefer that in case greenware can crack. Millie, come here, baby. Come here. Okay. Greenware can crack. If you are painting underglazes on it and you get too much moisture back in the greenware, depending on how dry it is, it can crack, and then you've, just wasted all your underglazes, which are very expensive. And I think you can tell the colors better on Bisqueware than you do greenware. And if you wanted to, wipe something off, it's really hard to wipe it off on greenware. So anyway, so let me lower you down here. And let's see here. I got this new, darn it. Hang on there. Okay, let's see here. I don't know. Whatever I get to film with never usually turns out the best. I don't know. So here are my underglazes. Oh, let me set this aside for a minute. These are my underglazes. I just put mine in an old bead tray. They have fixed dividers. And like I said, these are Amaco Velvet Underglazes. And a lot of them are custom colors, so I really can't tell you what the colors are. I've kind of mixed, this is turquoise, but then I added some white, and this was royal blue, and I added some white. This is their purple, but I wanted a little bit darker, so I added some black. I ran out of chartreuse, so I just mixed some of this, I call it Kelly green. I think it's just called green. So I mixed some with yellow and a touch of white to make like a lime green that I wanted. And then this is the intense yellow. And then this is just that yellow with some white in it. So in the brown, I just mixed up purple, green, red, and made the brown. So they're kind of custom colors. But anyway, I like to use mine out of a tray like this because it's more like painting like watercolors. And then over here, I've mixed up some even more colors. This is a little bit more lime green than what I have. And then I wanted kind of a red orange. And this is like more of a pink. So I'm probably going to have to add a little more red and white because I doubt this will be enough glaze. You can kind of see those. In fact, I might just see how I just mix them up. I want a real pretty pink. It's very hard to find pink in underglazes, especially like magenta or like a hot pink kind of thing. Low fire glazes you can, but for some reason you can't find them very well in high fire or even mid-range fire. So there we go. Okay, so I'm going to set these aside over here. My inspiration for painting this vase, I had a birthday last week. And someone gave me this bag, and I just thought this was the prettiest thing. Look at that. And so I was trying to replicate some of the colors on my palette and in the watercolor thing there to match this. And I know so this is the one I tried to mix up on my tray, but it's got a little bit of hot pink in there, so I know I won't be able to replicate that. But there's some pinks, and it looks like I may be able to mix some pinks with the purple. So I may, this is such a beautiful purple, but I don't think mine is that pretty. You know, a lot of the problems with the underglazes is if you put them on too thin, they could burn out at mid-range fire. So, you know, it's kind of a crapshoot. That was my inspiration for painting this. So we'll see how it turns out, won't we? So let's see here. All right. So I think what I'm going to do is kind of do all one color at a time. That way, I think I can keep track of, you know, spacing it out around the vase evenly. So you want to try to mix up your colors. Try to mix up as much as you think you'll need, because if you have to remix it, chances are you'll never get the same color. So I think I'm going to go this way. And they're all going to be pretty much the same thickness, but I want them to be different lengths. And I'm going to go back and probably put, I want to do 3 coats. If you do less than 3 coats, it can burn out. Like I said, if you're doing, you know, mid-range firing, I fire my Bisqueware to cone 04, and I fire my my Bisqueware, my glazeware to cone 5 with a 20-minute hold, which takes it up to about probably 2170, which is about 5.5, probably higher than 2170, probably like 2180, which is about a cone 5.5. So, okay, I've got, you know, it's hard. I gotta make sure I leave some room for all these other colors. So now I'm going to go back and try to put another coat on here. I almost have enough to do a glaze firing, so I just did a huge bisque firing, or, well, greenware, bisqueware, yeah. So I have plenty of stuff to glaze. I hope everyone is doing well. It is snowing here right now. I think we're only going to get about 1 inch though. Maybe 2 inches, but it's the best kind of snow because it's melting as it hits the street. There's not too much on the streets here. It might be further up north. I tried to do some videos making Valentine cards, but the Valentine's card looked pretty in person, but the colors didn't seem to show up very well in the video, and they looked kind of crappy. So I deleted the video. Some of them didn't turn out that great. I mean, but I made like 10 of them, and I would say 80% of them turned out nice. So I'm going to go from the other way so I can get just, you know, a little bit more of a squared off line or rectangle. And there's, as I talked about in some of my other videos, these, when your glazes have been sitting around a while, and these have, they stayed really moist in this case. You wouldn't believe how moist that case really does keep them. They get oolites in them, and you know, they get chunks in them, not just oolites, but you know, the chunks usually will fire down in the kiln, but oolites are little balls, and they're formed by some of the minerals that are in the underglazes, and they're almost like, you can kind of think of them as like calcium. They're perfect little balls in your glaze, and they're in regular glazes too, but you want to get those out. So when I'm done glazing this and it's dry, I'm going to run my fingers over the glazes and make sure there's no bumps. You don't want any chunks or really bumps because they're going to stick their little heads up through the clear. I'm going to clear this when I'm done here. I'm not going to fire it first. I'm just going to put my clear glaze on with a very nice fluffy Amaco brush. This is the Soft Fan CB618 Mako 8. So that's Mako 8 Soft Fan CB618. But see how fluffy it is? It's not one of those that's got, some of those have like 10 bristles in them, and like, you're thinking, what the heck are you going to do with that? But this one, if you gob it down in your clear like that, fill it up with clear, just don't, you know, rub it back and forth. Just gently put one coat on, let it dry. Put your second coat on after the first coat's dry, and then you can fire it, and then it won't smear. So let's see here. This looks pretty good. Boy, I got a lot of this color left. I may have to, I hate wasting underglaze. My gosh, when I went to the local supplier last week, I just cannot believe what things cost nowadays. Goodness sakes. Goodness sakes. Okay, so I've got some yellow there. I think I'm going to do some lime green here. Let's use some of this that I made here. Get this in the picture. Now, I'm really liking this lime green that I made because it's a little thicker than the chartreuse. I've heard that Amaco had some problems with their underglazes. I think and their glazes too. And their avocado green and the chartreuse just kept turning into water. I'd leave the lid open and try to get them to dry out, and even when this thing here sat, I mean, I haven't painted up with underglazes in, geez, a couple months, and everything was a little dried out, but the chartreuse and the avocado were watery. I feel like I'm painting bricks. I was outside with Charlie before, our big puppy dog. He's He just turned 11 months, and he's a Pyrodoodle. He's part Great Pyrenees and part Poodle, and he just loves the snow. So he was out there rolling around in the snow, and I had a hard time getting him back in the house. Let's see here. It's so interesting. When you paint these on, you do pretty much, what you see is what you get. That's one thing I like about Underglazes is that it's kind of instant gratification. But the clear does make them glossy, which makes them a little darker. I'm almost tempted not to put a clear on there, or maybe just one coat, because I really don't want it ultra glossy. I don't know what this is going to look like. But I will share the picture with you. I will post the picture on this video as soon as I get it fired, so you can see it. But like I said, it's pretty much what you see is what you get, especially while the colors are wet. Okay, what should I do now? I think the key to painting things like this is painting with colors you love. Make sure all the colors you put on here are colors that you like. Then you kind of can't go wrong. Last night, I took Charlie outside to go potty before we were going to bed, and after we came back in the house, I guess it was about 11 o'clock at night, all of a sudden we heard this loud bang. We thought, a car had hit a telephone pole or something. And so I go running outside, and my husband goes running outside, and the power went out. So as soon as we heard the bang, the power went out. And so we go grab some flashlights. Of course, I couldn't find my flashlight. I'm like, what good is a flashlight if you can't find it when you need it? So I don't know what I did with it. I don't know. Lately, I've been losing things, and it's frustrating. But anyway, so we went outside, and, we couldn't see anything. And so it looked like there was about 4 houses out. So it wasn't even the whole street. So we thought maybe our air conditioners blew up or something. But no, we didn't think so. So anyway, so we called Duke Energy, and they came out. And here it turns out that a squirrel, I guess when Charlie ran out of the house, I guess he scared a squirrel up the telephone pole, and the poor little squirrel got electrocuted. I felt so bad. So Duke Energy told us that, some poor little squirrel had gotten fried. And so when I went out there this morning, I saw the little squirrel laying there. He was toast. So I had to bury him. I had to give him a proper burial. Poor little guy. I felt so bad. So of course my brothers think I'm crazy, but because they hunt, they They kill a whole bunch of things, which I could never do. I couldn't kill anything. I'm one of those people who will pick up a worm off the sidewalk to save it. I just don't understand, people wanting to kill things. I don't know. I just don't get that. So anyway, so they, Duke Energy came out and they got the power back on, I guess, within an hour. And power was restored, but at the expense of a little squirrel. Because I feed all the squirrels. Well, we have 3 oak trees outside in our side yard, and they drop so many acorns that we get a lot of deer and a lot of chipmunks and squirrels, and so we do get a lot of wildlife. Now I'm trying to make sure there's 3 coats on here. With Amaco Underglazes, and with any underglaze, you can, mix them. You can mix them up just like watercolors and acrylics too. Looks like Molly and Millie, my 2 little kitty cats, are sleeping over there. Being good little kitty cats today. Gee, sounds like somebody's car isn't running too good. We live on kind of a busy street, so we get a lot of street traffic, a lot of street noise, and we get the planes flying over too. We live probably a few miles from the airport, the way the crow flies. We could just, grow wings and fly over to the airport. The planes go right over our house, and gosh, when those big Amazon planes start taking off like at 4 or 5 in the morning, it is loud. I mean, there's some of them, they shake the windows. It's crazy. Can't decide if I want to leave the little white spots in between the colors or overlap some of them. Right now, I'm just kind of filling them in. So I'm looking at the pink, trying to see if I've got kind of an even application. I just see some glitter in here. When I made the not Halloween, Lisa, I made the Valentine cards, I had this micro green glitter. Man, it's everywhere. Here's a little oolite. All right, I think I've got pretty good coverage. Let me add one more up here. I guess this will be like a bud vase, a flower vase. Everybody getting ready for Valentine's Day? Are you making stuff for Valentine's Day? Are you painting things? You'd have to get them in the kiln pretty soon, since Let's see. Is it this Friday already? It's this Friday. Wow, yeah, it's only 3 days away. Today's Tuesday. So Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Yeah. You'd have to be firing that kiln up tomorrow if you're making Valentine's Day stuff. That's the one nice thing about painting that I have found is that, you know, when you're done, you're done. You don't got to worry about saying prayers to the kiln gods. Okay, let's move on to another color. Let's see. I want to make sure I have enough yellow because I think yellow is really going to brighten it up. I'm going to do some yellow. Let's see here. Now this is going to go on. It's going to look kind of greenish, but it's actually intense yellow, and it only looks green because there's black mold growing in it, which is, it's probably not really mold. It's, at this point when it's growing inside, it's probably bacteria. So what I'm going to do probably is drop a couple dots of bleach in there. The bleach will not hurt the underglazes. So yeah, you can see it looks kind of like, looks like the lime green, but and it's going on nice and thick too, so there we go. Trying to make some mugs and plates at work at the rec center where I teach. So those will be fun to paint. So yeah, so with the underglazes too, remember you can paint the bottoms of your pieces with underglazes, and it will not stick to the kiln shelf because it's just clay and pigment. There should not be any flux in here. Now, I don't know, what the formula is for everybody, but I do know some other underglaze companies like Speedball and I think Mako, some of them had some flux in their underglazes, and I've had them stick to the kiln shelf. Now I know that Speedball has recently reformulated their underglazes, so I'm not sure if they still do that or not. Now, any underglaze, if you put on, 4 or 5 coats, there's a chance it could stick to the kiln shelf. But if you just stick to the 2 or 3 coats on the bottom, I think you'll be fine. I underglaze the bottoms of mine all the time, and they don't stick. I don't have a problem with that. So I think you're fine. Okay. It's hard to tell. When you're putting on when you're working on the whole area, and you're trying to spin your bottle, you got to be kind of careful that you're not messing up the glazes on the other side. It looks kind of funky, doesn't it? Especially since the yellow looks more green because of all that bacteria. Usually my head starts stuffing up and I can't breathe by the time I'm done glazing. Let me slide this out of the way a little bit. I think I'm going to go with some of this light. This, I believe, is called Violet. Put some of that on there. I do have the darker one, too. Try to get some of the yellow out of there. I hate to put too much water on my brush because I don't want these to be watered down. I'm kind of going, you know, from two directions so that I don't, so I can get a little bit more of a squared off shape. I got another ooh light there. Get out of there. I'm going to have another sale at my house the weekend before Mother's Day. And, ooh, that dropped some in my orange. There we go. It's not that big of a deal. I hope to have a big sale. I did mark some stuff down on my website if you're interested. I've got some really cute hearts. Little, you probably saw this if you follow me. I did a video on how I painted their own little 5x5 canvases. And they turned out really cute, I must say. Those are the ones that I told you I was inspired by Amanda Evanston. Yeah, she paints really loose. A little more loose than what I typically do. But her work is just adorable. It's hard to paint loose. I mean, some people it just comes natural. But I'm not one to paint loose. I don't know. It's, you know, it's what's in your brain. You know, some artists can just slap colors on a canvas and it looks beautiful. And I think the key to a lot of that, whether you're painting with, like I said before, whether you're painting with underglazes, acrylics, watercolor, or whatever, if you pick colors that are beautiful together, you can hardly go wrong. I hope this isn't like watching haircuts. But you get to talk to me, right? Oh. Someone down the street from, not down the street from me, but somebody near me bought a scratch off lottery ticket, won $10 million a couple weeks ago. I was like, oh my gosh. Can you imagine that? Oh my. I don't really play the lottery too much because my luck's never been all that great, you know. If you've got your health, you got a warm house with a roof over your head, that's pretty lucky, I know. Got food in the pantry. I feel very lucky. Anyway, but when it comes to things like that, I've never been very lucky. But that's okay. I figured if it was meant to be, it was meant to be. Oh, I think my show's coming on a little bit. I gotta look at the time. Gotta watch my time. Anybody watch Deal or No Deal, the Island? I know. I'm a I like some of the reality TV shows. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not sure you'll be able to tell too much difference between this purple and violet when it comes right down to it. So I'm not sure how much I'm going to put on here. I think I'm just going to put a little bit. And it's hard to even tell, like, you know, where I've put the violet and the purple. They look very different in my container, but okay, I think I'm going to start with the blues. Put some light blues in here. This is the one I think that was like royal blue, and I added some white. I think this is going to turn out pretty cute. I don't think it's going to be as pretty as that bag, because some of those colors are just beautiful. Beautiful. In fact, I don't know. My favorite colors is turquoise. I add a touch of yellow and a touch of blue to it to make it a little more tropical looking. So I'd like to put quite a bit of that on here because, you know, I mean, if you're painting these, you know, the abundance of color, whatever you put a lot of on should be your favorite color. Dun, 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 dun. And it's okay if you're going over the top of other colors. I mean, it should cover them, but you know, even if it doesn't, that's okay. It's kind of like a stained glass effect, I guess. Let's see here. So I'm going to get some of this turquoise here. Can you see that color there? Yeah, it's kind of a greenish, bluish. I'm hoping that it turns out pretty. Boy, it's going on. It's going on like thick, like toothpaste. You don't want it to stick up, you know. Like I said, it'll stick its head right through the clear glaze and you'll have like a rough spot or a dry spot. So as I said before, these are going to be fire to cone 5 with a 20-minute hold, which should take me to about a 5.5. And the reason that I put a hold on it, 20-minute hold, is it pretty much eliminates all the pinholes. So, you know what I think I'm going to do is put some of these are all going horizontal, but I might do some, just, you know, some random ones, vertical. There we go. I can't wait till spring. I'm a warm weather person. I like the warm weather. I like to be outside and plant my flowers and mulch and, you know, have a bunch of flowers everywhere and make it real pretty. Right now, everything is just kind of muddy and dead. The grass is all dead. What are you guys thinking so far? Are you thinking, Lisa, you're crazy? It looks like crap. Oh. I sure hope it turns out. I think it will. I mean, you really can't go wrong too much with underglazes. Now, if these were commercial, regular glazes, with those, you know, you really don't. You know, if you put them on nice and thick, some of them run all over the kiln. But if you don't put them on thick enough, you don't get the true color. You know, honestly, I don't know. There's, you know, potters who, you know, they apply 4, 5, 6 coats of things, and I really don't know how they do that without them running all over the kiln, because I know in my class, if somebody applies too much glaze, it runs all over the kiln. If they apply 4 coats, and most glazes can go to 4, but the hotter you fire, the more chance you have of them running. And so, you know, some of them, I know they want them to run, but, you know, with that, you've got to be very careful, because you don't want them running all over the kiln shelf. Even if you have the advanced or kiln shelves, it's not fun to chip it off. Okay, I'm trying to look to see if I've got this, and like I said, I was hoping to make them all different lengths, but I'm talking and I'm not really paying all that much attention to them. Let's see. I was kind of hoping we'd get enough snow that my son could use his snow blower. Yeah, see, some of these, see, they're little, they're too much the same size, which I really don't want. But I can go back, I think, and like with this one here, I think I'm just going to go cover that yellow up, and even if some of the yellow shows through, that's okay. Kind of looking for some spots to put some more. I'm not going to put any red on here, because I've got this orange red that I think is going to look like a poppy orange red that I think is going to be, you know, reddish enough. Oh, you know, I don't have any orange though. I don't know. Let me think here. I definitely have some spots open. Let's see here. Let me get some of this. I'm getting some orange out of here. Okay. And this is a bright orange. I did not mix this, but I'm going to add a little bit of yellow to it because I want it to be a brighter orange. So I'm getting some of this intense yellow that looks a little lime greenish. And I'm just going to mix that together here a little bit, because the colors on that bag are very bright, and it's kind of hard to get those with, I think, with some underglazes. And again, you don't really know how they're going to turn out after it's fired, of course, but you have a pretty good idea. Okay, so I'm going to put this down here. I hope it looks better than it does here. I guess it looks okay. Sometimes, you know, when you're trying to replicate something, it doesn't always turn out, does it? Let's see here. And remember, I'm trying to gob this on so that I want to do a bowl and cut out some flowers on it and do a video on that too. People seem to really like the underglazes the best, but it's fun to do other things, isn't it? Charlie is sleeping next to me here on the floor, and he's dreaming. He's dreaming of us giving a bunch of doggy bones, probably. He is, like I said, he's a paradoodle, but he had his 11-month birthday Saturday, and he's already 80 pounds at 11 months. So I don't know how big he's going to get, but I think there's a pretty good chance he's going to be a pretty big boy. He's already a big boy. If he doesn't want to do something, you can't make him do it. And of course, he's pretty spoiled too. All you dog people know what I'm talking about. Although we still have to get him neutered. Okay, let's see here. Okay. Got a few more holes here to cover up, and then we will be done. And like I said, I'm going to get this fired. I've also did a video on a gold glaze, Pasler gold glaze. Oh, it's running here. There we go. That's all right. The Pasler gold glaze is just absolutely beautiful. It's one of the first gold glazes that you don't have to put on, 4 coats and worry about it running all over the kiln shelf, and it turns gold. You can put 2 coats on and it still turns gold. Now I know some people fire it a little higher. They fire it to 6 or higher, and I think they even get a shinier gold glaze. I fire mine, like I said, to 5.5, and it turns out beautiful. So I can't wait to fire this other pot, and then I'm going to put it on the video I did, show it to you guys, and see what you think. And then you can go get some. I bought mine at, or no, they sent me mine. The company sent me a free bottle. And, yeah, so I did a thing on it. I like their stuff. I like Pansler because it's, they don't charge you an arm and a leg. Their stuff's not so expensive. Amaco's is good too. Amaco's doesn't charge a whole lot. Amaco, whew, gotten kind of crazy with their prices have gone up, and then the clay prices. Oh my lord! I went to go buy some of that Laguna 266, and it used to be like $35 a case. Well, now it's over $60. I think it's like $65 for a 50-pound box of clay. Oh, it's almost doubled. I said I won't be buying that anymore. All right, I'm trying to think. I think I'm going to add some more yellow because I think yellow is going to really brighten it up. And I'm being a little bit sloppier now, as you can tell. I hope I'm going over the yellow and not the green, because I don't know about that. I don't know if I like that or not. Okay, I'm just kind of going around and going over this yellow. I haven't trying to fill in all the holes. I do have some of this green left that I love, so I think I'm gonna add some of that. And then I want to add a little bit more of this this violet. Make sure that I've got a good good coating. We don't want any of this burning out, do we? Hope you guys aren't getting too bored. This isn't now I am not going to take, I'm tempted to take a black liner, but I'm not going to this. Okay, let's see. I'm going to make sure I've got some of this green here. I think this green will be pretty. I think I'll do the lip in green too. I think I'm covering up some of my pink. There we go. Okay. Let's do, oh shoot, it's running a little bit over here. I don't know where all the liquid came from, but let's see here. Can you see that? There we go. I think my son turned all the lights off in the living room again. I don't know why he does that. I turn the lights on and he turns them off, and it's hard for me to see at night because the lights isn't very good. So I hate when he turns all the lights off. There we go. Let me almost finished up here. Didn't turn out too bad. I think I'm not painting the inside, of course, but let's see. But if I can get just the top part here, use up the rest of this. There we go. I gotta touch it up over here a little bit, where my green ran. I think that's about it. What do you think? It's different. I don't think it looks a whole lot like the picture, but I don't know. I guess we'll see when we fire it, huh? I don't know. I'm having my doubts. All right, let's see here. All right, let's pick the bottom up. Let's do the bottom in this color. I think I'm going to go have some of my birthday cake I got left over. That's a big glass of milk. Oh, wow. My husband just told me that a car went off the road. Yikes. I guess I'm going to go out there and see if everybody's okay. I didn't think the streets were covered. I have not seen a salt truck once today. We live on a pretty steep hill, and usually it's pretty salted. But okay, well, folks. Oh, there we go. What do you think? What do you think? I'm tempted to blend them. You know, like maybe I'll do another one and I'll just blend them because I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it turns out. All right, I think it's dry enough for me to pick up. Okay, well, folks, what do you think? I think it's cute. So I will, that's still wet, the bottom's still, yeah, there we go. So I will put a clear coat on here, and then I'll fire it, and I will show it to you when you are fired, when it is fired. I promise it'll be within a week. Let me make sure. Oh, if I can raise this back up, I can say goodbye to ya. Look how dark it is outside. It'll take my phone like 3 hours to upload this because, oh, I see it's like an hour long. So, oh gosh, my hair's all over the place. Thank you so much for watching. That wasn't too boring for you. Oh, there's Charlie's barking at probably the police cars out there. Hope everybody's not hurt. Nobody's hurt. Anyway, I will get this fired and get it uploaded. And then, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it. You guys are the best. Take care and love you all. Bye-bye.